I'm joined by Kyle Balgames. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian Mars.
Zach Allen. I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Pro Tour counter-attack here, Ari Lax.
Alright, welcome everybody to Making Magic Happen, brought to you by RW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, and today we're playing a Pioneer Prelim with my favorite deck in the format currently. It is Jeskai Lukka. This is mostly the same deck you've seen me play before, although I do now have 4 Ketria Triumph instead of 3 and down to 2 islands instead of 3 islands. Wanted an extra red source because I added 3 Anger of the Gods to the main deck. I think the Anger of the Gods are going to help with the sacrifice decks kind of going around, the Bolus, Citadel, Woe Strider decks. They've been kind of popular in Pioneer as of late. And also, if I run into Mono Black, nice to have some Anger of the Gods, that type of stuff. Spirits. There's a lot of places where it's pretty good. It's mostly the same deck otherwise. The only other change is I have 2 Gideon Ally of Zendikars. Because Omen of the Sun and Anger of the Gods isn't really a combo, I wanted some Gideons as repeated token makers. And because I just have an opening at the 4-drop slot now that I've gone heavier on 3s, it's nice to go fires into Gideon and just kind of get the ball rolling. He's also nice as like a repeated token maker, like I said, where I can go, I can have a Gideon in play, cast an Anger or Supreme Verdict the next turn, lose my token, but the turn after that I can play a Lukka, make a token with Gideon, and immediately minus and get my Agent of Treachery. Other than that, it's the same list you've seen on the channel before, but I do think it's pretty good right now. I do think it's well positioned, so definitely excited to play and see how it goes. In the sideboard, I've got 3 Aether Gusts because I expect Temur Wreck and Mono Green to be pretty popular. 3 Mystical Disputes and 2 Dovin's Vetoes to help against other counterspell decks. And then against aggressive decks, I've got Anger of the Gods, an extra Anger, an extra Chain to the Rocks, an extra Supreme Verdict, and then 3 Dream Trawlers. So I get to bring these 6 cards in against more, I guess you'd say, aggressive decks. And then, of course, I'm a Yorion deck. You've seen Yorion before. So we're going to have, Yorion for the game 1s and all over the place. But I still think this deck's really good. It hasn't been putting up the results I kind of thought it might, which is concerning to me a little bit. But I still think it's just so good that maybe people just haven't played enough with it, haven't practiced enough with it. It feels to me like it beats everything, so I'm a little mystified. But we're going to find out together, I guess. I do think the deck is good, so like I said, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, pretty interesting to see how good this actually is. I will note I had some internet issues this morning. We lost it, so I'm using a MiFi network, so that might end up making the games play a little slow. So I'm gonna have to play fast, but I'll do my best, do what I can, and yeah, hopefully this goes pretty well because I really do think this is the best deck in Pioneer at the moment. Maybe Temur Wreck's better, but if I was playing a tournament tomorrow, I'd probably register this, and I want to put my money where my mouth is, see how this prelim goes. Alright, this thing's about to start, and I will say, just looking at this is a nutty event. There's like 28 people in here, and I know and have played against most of them, and they're all so good. Nammer Squat, Sandy Dog, McWin Sauce, Bill Sieve's a pretty good Pioneer player. P-Tarts to Win's pretty good. Belovo, I think, is just an excellent player too. I don't know who Jabs is, but that's Carlos, I think, Ramao. That would be, Pro Tour winner, right? Or runner-up, maybe? I think he lost to Shota in the finals. Regardless, ridiculous lineup for a 27-person event. This feels like FNM at the Pro Tour right now. We'll see how this goes, though. See how this goes. I will defend Jeskai Lukka's honor. Hodor time, baby. I don't know who this player is, but I've seen the name before, and I have a feeling they're pretty good. All right, well, this hand can't cast the Anger. I only have 1 mountain, which is kind of awkward. I could cast the Narset, but we kind of really need Narset to hit. This hand's awkward. When you draw the basics and not the dual lands in this deck, the mana doesn't really work. It's a really mana-intensive deck. There's actually a real chance I'm supposed to mulligan this. That said, we're like one blue-red land away from the hand being actually excellent. So, I do have 12 blue-red duels in the deck. And I have a lot of, like, fixing things. A lot of ways to fix the hand. I also can just Narset into a Fires of Invention, which would solve everything. I am going to definitely play Fabled Passage and pass the turn, though. If it's like mono-black, I'll fetch for a mountain. Against blue-black, I'm definitely going to get blue. The anger is unlikely to matter very much. And I would like... I probably want to play the Narset on 3 with this hand, so... Alright, second anger. That's actually just awful. We said that the first anger wasn't going to do much. Can't cast it anyway. And then we drew a second, so perfect. Opponent thought seizes me. Well, now the Narset's going to be pretty bad. They still might take the Shark Typhoon, though. I can see him taking the Shark Typhoon here. That would make some sense. That would make sense. Okay, they took Narset. Yeah. You probably need to. A blue-black deck like this, I think, is almost certainly... almost certainly like the Narset, like with wheel effects, I guess, like Days Undoing or whatever deck that's been somewhat popular recently. So, given that's the case, Birth Release isn't bad. I was going to put Yorion in my hand, but now this is much better. I get to do this. Now I have a wall, and now we're one red source away from luking out an agent pretty quick, which will be pretty nice. Also, Fires gets us kind of close. We'll see. We have a lot of good draws here, certainly. Red source or Fires would be great. Another removal spell that we can't use. Perfect. I was just thinking that's what I wanted to draw, was another removal spell. Alright, I'm going to make the play I can. Game 1 for this deck against decks that don't have creatures to use removal on can certainly be tough. That is the case. I do have things like Narset in my deck to be able to pitch these and start finding more relevant spells. But, my opponent thought seized away my most relevant things, so hasn't happened quite yet. Alright, red source? Not a red source, but still a pretty good one. I'll take that. Gideon already looking quite strong. If they've got a counterspell here... Oh, no counterspell, huh? Well, now I'm going to say opponent's in some trouble. Gideon is a house. They might have, like, a Hero's Downfall. But I at least got my 2/2 out of it. I wouldn't be shocked if this deck was running a couple downfalls. Although, it doesn't look like they are casting it yet. It doesn't look like they're casting it yet. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like a downfall. Could certainly be... Got a Supreme Will, maybe? Look at the top 4. I think if you had Supreme Will, you would counter this, right? Oh, a Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time makes sense. So that's probably bad for me. But we are now forcing the opponent to make plays, right? We've got Gideon. We can do 7 a turn. They're kind of on like a 2-turn clock. Not really. It's like a 3-turn clock. But if they shock or something, it is a 2-turn clock. I can just keep making Knights to not expose Gideon, although there's not very many removal spells in blue-black that actually kill Gideon that people play. You could have something like Ob Nixilis' Cruelty, but I haven't seen that in a long time. An Ashiok would be kind of bad here, but not the end. Okay, well, they've got a downfall. And it does feel like they probably have a counterspell here, too. I would guess that's the case. But we got a lot of good draws here. Birth was really not one of them, if I'm being honest. Another white source that we didn't need. Perfect. I mean, it's not terrible, but yeah, would have loved to have drawn Fires or any blue-red duel or an Omen of the Sea or an Omen of the Sun to get some scries. Yeah, not great so far. We do have a clock in play. I highly doubt it will be enough, but we do have a clock. Which is good. Ooh, Kalidas, huh? Oh, Kalidas isn't actually very good against me. It's alright, but not particularly good. Okay, Ketria's Triome is actually good. So, how do I want to do this? I think leaving Kalidas in play is a mistake. But yeah, I'm going to Chain to the Rocks Kalidas. I think opponent has like a Drown in the Lock here or a counterspell, but there's not a lot of counterspells that actually hit this outside of Drown in the Lock. They could have like a negate, I guess. But then they need to kind of decide if they even want to do that. And it's not clear if it's good for them. And their life total is starting to get low. It is starting to get low. I think they were thinking I was going to Yorion there, and they wanted to leave up maybe a Heartless Act for it, or something along those lines, but you really want to save the Yorion to a later spot if you can. And it is possible they're trying to just hold up a removal spell for my Lukka minus, because they can blow that out. But, I mean, if I'm trading like a Fatal Push for a Lukka minus, that's fine by me. It's not like, obviously I'd rather have my Lukka minus happen, but like if that's a card in their hand, they're using a resource to kill my 0-4 wall, that's kind of a win for me anyway. I can minus game Lukka next turn, so not going to be the end of the world if that's how opponent tries to play this. They are starting to get low too. Like, it's not crazy that I could end up winning this game with just 2 Yorion attacks. I think that's totally a reasonable place that this game could end up going towards. You know, and if they just keep ignoring the core ally, it's going to do a bunch of damage to them. So Gideon has looked quite strong this game. I will say that. Okay, so now even if they have the counterspell, it's just not the end of the world for me. It's just fine. Okay, well, I'm going to play my Lukka. I imagine it gets countered or something. No. Okay, well, I'm going to exile this wall. I imagine this wall is getting Fatal Pushed or eliminated or Petty Thefted, sure. That makes sense. That makes sense. And now they'll attack the Lukka. Okay. So this adds up. Oh, opponent had 2 Censors and I just had a mana up. That ain't very good. Censor's a pretty bad card, in my opinion. I know a lot of people really think the card's good, but I think the card's pretty bad. It's just always been pretty bad, in my opinion. I don't know. Of note, their 3/1 still doesn't block my 2/2. So, I mean, now they're getting into a pretty, they're putting themselves in a pretty precarious spot here. All right, they actually Fatal Push the 2/2. Fair enough. Is this like a main phase dig through time? I wouldn't be shocked if this is a main phase dig through time into like another Narset. I would not be shocked if that's the play. Opponent's trying to set up like a Narset to stop me from getting value. They do know my hand is 2 Angers and a Yorion, I believe. They don't know that I drew Lukka last turn. Ugh. The Thoughtseize here is really annoying. Don't love that. Especially if they take Yorion. This goes kind of bad for me. Yeah, okay, they did take Yorion. So that's not great. I do imagine that this Lukka isn't going to be long for this world. Well, the Lukka will be fine. I do think, though, that this turn I want to just anger. Just use the opportunity to get this Brazen Borrower out of here. I'm going to birth again. I am happy to have the 4th Plains. We've drawn 3 births. Opponent is down to 2 cards. They did dig through time, so it's pretty likely that those cards are good. But it's not clear. I also think, based on the fact that they're down to 2 cards and they didn't take Lukka, the chances of one of the cards being in their hand as a removal spell is absurdly high. Days Undoing. Well, that's really annoying. Kind of wish I'd played Lukka last turn and plussed. I do imagine I'm going to get Days Undoing here. Alright, they pushed the wall first. Fair enough. I guess they might as well. The Days Undoing is really annoying. And of course we drew a land that has one fetchable target. Perfect. Couldn't even be a good fetch. Perfect. Oh, that is the game. I mean, that is a powerful combo. Opponent set it up. I think mostly the issue with this game so far has been that I just have not drawn relevant cards and had bad mana, mostly. Just fine. Opponent did just put themselves to 2, though. We have draw steps that could get us back. And they're cycling and not really doing anything, so maybe their 7's bad? Possible. It is possible. I don't think it's super likely, but it's possible. And we have good draws. We have Narset is a pretty good draw. Narset is definitely a pretty good draw. Stops future Days Undoing shenanigans. Definitely want to fetch that last basic, yeah, before anything goes too crazy there. Perfect! I was just thinking, Castle Ardenvale would actually be a really good draw. I don't know how this deck is going to beat me just getting a Castle Ardenvale and putting it in play. All that said, I imagine they'll be pretty good at just beating this Narset, but I did clear 4 horrible draws off the top of my deck, so that is good. But it doesn't feel like opponent has all that much going on, and nowadays Undoing is actually horrible for them. They have to get rid of Narset before they do that because just digging through time every turn. Narset stacks both ways, right? Like, if they Days Undoing here to try and draw some more, I mean, my Narset stops them from drawing any cards at all, so it's actually better for me at this point. That said, the likelihood of my Narset surviving past this turn, not super high. Yep, I imagine Ashiok's is going to minus on my Narset, and I'm going to lose the game. I guess I could have left the blue source in hand to play around that. I don't think that's right necessarily, but I don't know. Oh. Teferi is good. Well, no, Teferi's not good. Teferi's alright. They have a Narset in play, so my Teferi doesn't do that much. But it's alright. It does mean my next thing could maybe work. It does mean that. Ugh. Another Narset, sure. They got an Eliminate. Alright. Yeah, hard to win after your opponent draws 7 and you have 1 card. Especially when it's a whiff. Like, if I had drawn something good there, maybe. Alright, the 5th Birth of Meletus I've drawn this game. Perfect. Alright. It's one of those spots where the game is over. I will pack it in. Post-board, though, we get some big upgrades. An opponent doesn't, necessarily. And we get to cut a bunch of the garbage out of our deck. Supreme Verdict's out. Anger of the Gods out. I think Chained to the Rocks is okay, but I'm going to cut all of them. I'm going to rely on ECD, the other stuff more. I'm only going to have 2 Trawlers. Trawler's, like, pretty good, though. It's not great against Narset, but they really just don't answer Trawler well at all. I'm actually going to cut a Lukka, because Lukka is somewhat inconsistent. I still will leave in Lukka in these scenarios, because turning any of my tokens into either a Dream Trawler or an Agent of Treachery is still good. It's not ideal for me, that I don't know which one I'm going to hit. But I think either is good enough in a scenario like this, where it's worth doing. Okay, this hand's a little sketchy. I'm nowhere near casting this Narset, but Fires is one of my absolute best cards in the matchup. I've got 3 lands, essentially. Opponent's on a mulligan. They can't really Thoughtseize me off Fires, and with a Fires in play, opponent's going to have a lot of trouble. And if I draw a land, I'm in a really good spot. If I don't draw a land, this could be tough. But I get to go, you know, turn 2. Oh, wait. This is an ECD? Oh, no. I thought this was a Birth of Meletus. Oh, no. We made a grave error. Why did I think this was Birth? All right, never mind. We're good. We're good, people. Don't worry about it. Who's worried? I'm not worried. We'll just draw lands. All right. That might have been a little loose keep, given that this was not a land and it was, in fact, a 5-drop. Whatever. Who cares? We'll just get there. We'll just get there. Just draw 2 blue sources off the top. Just got to have a little faith, people. Just a little faith. Negate, sure. I mean, here's the thing, like, from the blue-black side, is that, yeah, they're going to negate my Narset, and they might negate my fires, but it just doesn't get that much better for them every turn going forward. If they Daze Undo me next turn, that's not good for me, certainly, but I do get to go fires into Gideon next turn, and, oh yeah, Mystical Dispute doesn't do anything when I have a fires in play. It doesn't do anything. It just looks dumb. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's fine against me when I don't have fires, but when I have either Teferi or fires in play, it doesn't do anything. It's just actively bad. It is annoying that Omen of the Sea doesn't do anything against Narset, but my hand is pretty good against Narset. I can pressure Narset. Oh, they've got 2 disputes now, so I guess they could counter something if they want to tag team it. But not all that concerned, gonna be honest. So is this like a downfall here? Downfall in Gideon would make sense. Yep, okay, well, I get to resolve Yorion now, so not the end of the world for me. And their Narset's off the table, and they're gonna have 2 disputes after this, so yeah. Attack Narset. Good night, sweet prince. Can I have 1 Yorion, please? Yeah. Definitely don't want lands. Gonna bottom both of those. Alright, we drew a land anyway. Not the end of the world. Oh, I was supposed to play the other land, but, you know, whatever. Well, we're now ahead on board. We're not ahead on cards, but ooh, Teferi's a very good draw. I think I'm going to top Teferi and cast Teferi next turn and be able to pay for both disputes. And if they Thoughtseize me here after topping, which they're pretty incentivized to do, they get a second fires, which just doesn't really do anything for them. Yeah, and now I get to resolve Teferi, and I can bounce Omen of the Sea. Okay. Dig through time, sure. But, yeah, not great. Oh, wait, I don't bounce Omen of the Sea. I'm going to bounce Yorion. That's what we're going to do. I figured it out. I figured it out. Alright, so they are going to leave a Mystical Dispute here. That's fine. Opponent's getting very pressured by Yorion, though. I mean, they're taking 6 a turn, and Yorion's about to draw me a lot of cards. Alright, so I'm going to play my land. I'm going to cast Teferi Time Raveler with Fires of Invention. Sure, I'll pay. So they have 3 cards in hand, and I know one of them is another Mystical Dispute. Oh, this combo is nice. Let me tell you. This is a nice combo. Oh, Holder Time Baby has conceded from the game. Yeah. Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense. I was going to draw Birth of Meletus, which wasn't going to be very good, into a Ketria Triome. Alright, Lukka was coming. We were going to hit Lukka eventually. Not anytime soon, but eventually. And yeah, I mean, this has always been the issue with playing against Lukka decks, is that you bring in cards like Mystical Dispute and cards that are essentially mana leak effects, and both of all of those effects get turned off by fires and Teferi. So I have 8 ways where if I ever get one of them in play, you're just immediately punished. And blue-black is not getting them off the table. That's just not happening. All right, this hand is a clear keep. This is a very good hand. There are certainly things opponent could have to punish me here, but this hand has great mana. It's got Castle Ardenvale, which is a threat opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with. They can also pressure their planeswalkers. I even drew a Narset. I mean, this hand is awesome. I am going to need to hit some lands, but this hand is pretty well set up to do that. I'm really kind of hoping to draw an untapped land this turn. All right, that's a 7-drop. That's not really... It wasn't really what we were looking for, but that's fine. I can Omen of the Sea, and I do think there's merit to it. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to Omen of the Sea on their turn. If I whiff on 2 consecutive lands, that would be pretty annoying. Or I guess I get 3, kind of like 4 looks at a land. I need an untapped land on my top 4 cards for this to work. And if I whiff, it'll be annoying, but... you know, I don't think it's super likely that I do whiff. Okay, we didn't. Ooh, even hit a Mystical Dispute. Ooh, I like this. I'm going to top. I think these are both worth drawing. Just kind of want to make sure my things resolve. I'm just going to play the Raugrin this turn and pass. And then I'm set up next turn to play Teferi with Dispute up. Or if opponent taps out for something, I can just Dispute on their turn and then cast the Fires into like a Teferi. Okay, I mean, they almost certainly have a Dispute back. That's probably true. Okay, fair. Alright, they got an Narset. Sure. But now we get a Fires, which is kind of the spot they wanted to avoid me going towards, right? They just don't want me to have a Fires in play. Basically at any cost. Ooh, and we hit an ECD. That's nice. So now I need to decide, do I want to go Narset and protect against Days Undoing? They need some really specific stuff to get around me playing a Narset here. And I have 2 Teferis, so like if they counter one of the... Yeah, it's got to be better to have Narset. I could get punished by exactly the sequence of Eliminate into Days Undoing, but I'm not going to not... Like, I'm going to make opponent have that. I'm not going to sit here and just, like, not try to make them have that. Yeah, Shark Typhoon's a pretty good draw. I'll take a Typhoon. I would like to hit lands, and Narset kind of does that. Like, I can use... They got an Eliminate. Oh, no. Do they just have all the things? Is it exactly... Oh, it's a tap land, though. All right, fair. Fair enough. So letting me untap with Narset's interesting. Oh, and we drew the land. Well, that's quite nice. Alright, so I just have so much stuff to do with the mana, and my life total is just not important enough. I'm at 20, and opponent just doesn't attack my life total aggressively enough. They could have like flashed in a Borrower, and earlier that could have been a way the game went. And then, yeah, I might want to play this tapped. But given that this gives me Castle activation, I think it's a pretty clear. No, I was supposed to activate Narset. That was stupid. Now they're going to eliminate my Narset, and I just didn't get the activation. I had a free activation there too. Oh, they just have a negate? Alright, fair. Well. Still going to activate Narset. Huh. This is interesting. All these are pretty good. Yeah, these are all, like, not bad. I think Gideon's the best. I'm going to cast Gideon with Fires. This just puts enough pressure on the opponent here. Okay. So now we're kind of in a spot where we're putting a lot of pressure on the opponent, and opponent needs kind of a lot here to get out of this. I imagine my Narset's getting eliminated here, and opponent's going to try to do like a Days Undoing thing, but we've got a lot of stuff. Like, we're pretty good at recovering from this. I can make a 3/3 Shark, which... Alright, well, that ends the opponent's turn. But I also still have a Yorion I can get, which is, pretty good. I think it's better to get it's definitely better to get a 3-3 than a 1-1, so I am going to cycle. An opponent gets to, obviously refuel here, but they're not really close to a dig through time. Oh, man, I would have liked that land, too. Plays around dispute. Oh, I cycled so I don't get to draw the card? Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, I played that pretty bad. I should have just made a 1-1. I just totally forgot that cost me a card post Days Undoing. Yeah, that was poor. That was just not well played on my part. So likelihood that they have... Well, I don't think I want to keep making 2/2s. I think it's actually better to put myself in a spot where I can get an emblem next turn. I think that's pretty likely. Attack you, attack Narset, attack you. I would like to aggressively pressure their life total at this point. I think that's going to be better for me overall. I'm kind of just on this... Oh. Alright, I'm going to cast my Omen of the Sun with Fires of Invention. And we're just going to make 1/1s and be able to emblem my Gideon next turn. I mean, that's the plan we're at. And they're just going to be under a lot of pressure from tokens. I probably should have gotten Narset off the table, but this Narset's not really doing anything more. And I will attack it with one of these tokens next turn. But, like, I don't have any cards in hand, so another Days Undoing is not the end of the world for me. Big dig through time. I mean, if a opponent wants to tap out to do... Wow. They just conceded. So Gideon looking really strong there. Holy cow. Mind blown by how good Gideon looked there. Gideon's a really powerful card. I think people have forgotten how good this is. But yeah, Gideon's a nice card. Alright, we're back going into round 2 here. Somehow I'm almost in last place of the 1-0s. I don't know. I guess my tiebreakers aren't good. But we said it was a really tough crowd. A couple of the big names won. Sandy Dog, Belovo, McWinsauce, Jabs. Claudio's the trophy leader and pioneer. Petards the Win's a good player. So yeah, definitely still a real tough field. No joke. But some of the other big names lost. I mean, this is a tough field, man. This is a real tough field. Alright, I got Sandy Dog. Odds I'm playing against an aggressive red deck. Quite high. Alright, would you like to play first? I would. I would, in fact. I'm going to reveal Yorion. Sandy Dog will be licking his lips, thinking, oh, this clown over here playing. I'm on the play. Yeah, this hand's great. Well, not great. It's good. It is a good hand. So it's a pretty clear Hallowed Fountain. This is actually tough. If I know he has a 1-drop, I would definitely go Hallowed Fountain into Ketria Triumph tapped, play Ketria Triumph here. But given that I don't, there's still some merit to me going Ketria Triumph into Hallowed Fountain so I can get Birth going. That might actually just be the play. Huh. This is kind of a tough... I mean, if I just drew another land, it would still be better to play the Hallowed Fountain. I think I'm going to lead on Ketria Triumph. I think that's what I'm going to do. But this is certainly a good hand against Sandy Dog, I would say. It's a little unfair to just always put Sandy Dog on an aggro deck, but Sandy Dog almost always plays aggro decks, and he plays them extremely well. I would argue that there are maybe 3 or 4 people in the world I would take playing a red deck over Sandy Dog. He's just extraordinarily good at playing red decks. Yeah, absolutely incredible. He's won a Grand Prix playing Burn. Yeah, just absolute phenomenal player. So I think it's pretty likely that he's on red. I would guess that, but that's part of the joy of being Sandy Dog, right? You can just play mono red, crush people every event you play, and then just like once in a while show up with like blue-black control, and just your opponent keeps hand with like 6 removal spells in him, and you just crush them. Always up to the Sandy Dog himself, but I would say I would say erring towards him being on control is probably right. That would be my guess. Is Sandy Dog just going to time out? That would be... I would actually be kind of upset. I want to play him. Come on, Sandy Dog. Don't time out. Also, please don't be me. Is this all working? Alright. It does appear I'm actually connected to the internet. I think Moto just stops and doesn't let you work when you're not connected. I will be actually mad if I don't get to play Sandy Dog. I mean, obviously I'll take a win where I can get it, but I'm not really playing this prelim because I need to 5-0. I'm playing this prelim because I want to play against good players, and I got paired against one of the best, so would be kind of upsetting if I didn't get to play him. All that said, Sandy Dog could just be chilling for a little bit because he does play red decks and just doesn't need the time. I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. All right, Sandy Dog's here. Fair enough. I'm playing Ketria Triumph. Let's go. He just says he doesn't need the time. Fair enough. I see you, Sandy Dog. I see you, buddy. Oh, Mountain. Mountain into Swift Spear. Yup. Warms my heart. Absolutely warms my heart. So, I do think I want to birth here. Second red source is excellent. I do think it's slightly better to birth here. I don't think it's all that likely Sandy Dog is going to, like, Pioneer's a lot different than Modern, where he could have a really crazy turn with, like, mutagenic growth and all these things, right? They're free spells. Pioneer, you don't really have that. So if he, like, double wild slashes me and hits me for 3, sure, that'd be bad. But yeah, this works out much better for me. Now I have a wall for Swift Spear going forward. I can use my Chain to the Rocks on Karizev, which is a much scarier threat anyway. I'm going to regain the 2 life from Shocking, so not the end of the world there. And I can just keep hitting my land drops for a little while, so yeah, pretty okay with all of this. Chain to the Rocks looking real nice. Real nice here. I'll take that all day. Also, of note, Sandy Dog isn't playing Luris, so he's either mono-red, just exactly mono-red. Ooh, are you double wild slashing my wall? You know? That's not great for me, but also, I'll take it. I will take it. Down to 3 cards. Didn't apply another threat to the board. Sure, he has a Swift Spear, but I'm going back to 15 this turn. I can play Narset and a tap land here, which is a great use of my turn's mana. The question I think I need to ask is Hallowed Fountain going to be better or Sacred Foundry? I don't know that it really matters. I guess I have a blue... I guess I'll play Hallowed Fountain. I don't actually think it matters all that much, so... I've already got all my colors, so... Not super concerned. Got triple blue, double red, triple white. Even quad white if I need... Ooh, Rabble Master's kind of scary. Well... Is he going to attack Narset here? Alright, attacking Narset. Does make sense. Does make sense. So what does my turn now look like? I think I have bottomed some cards I don't necessarily want to hit. There's 3 lands on the bottom of my library at the moment. So I definitely don't want to fetch this turn if I'm going to Omen. And I think Anger the Gods would be an incredible draw here. And the failsafe of, like, you know, I have some good failsafes here of hitting, like, a Teferi to bounce Rabble Master, or another Narset, or Omen of the Sun, or even another Birth would be pretty good here. So I do think I'm supposed to Omen. Lukka just doesn't really do anything, if we're being honest. Okay, definitely going to bottom the Ralgren, and I'm going to top the Birth and play it. I don't love that I'm shuffling the lands that I wanted on the bottom of my library back. I have 4 lands down there now, so I have shuffled all of them back in, which is not great, certainly, but I'm going to do what I have to do here. And, okay, this is a lot of damage. I don't love this. I do not love this, but he is down to 1 card. And it could certainly be a land. I'm taking a lot of damage here, though. Going to a virtual 4, which is tough. Ooh, Nahiri's good. But I think it's worse than Lukkaing into an agent, because I will have a blocker. I will have a blocker here at least. Alright, I have to take the Rabble Man. And hope that he can't kill... I have to kind of hope he has 2 lands, because basically everything else is going to kill me. But... I could be okay if that's the case. I can also agent... I have 3 agents. That seems good. Alright, well, Sandy Dog says it seems good. I'm hoping this doesn't mean he's just giving me some hope before he just crushes my dreams with a lightning strike on this agent right here. But if he only has lands, I think we win. But basically every burn spell kills me, which is unfortunate. Attacking Lukka. Wow. Wow. Okay, if he's attacking Lukka, I have a shot. Not a good shot, but a shot. Because I am gaining 2 next turn. And I can just natty cast this agent. Oh, he came at me? Alright, I don't love that. Do not love that. So dead to basically any burn spell at this point. But he would have cast it. Oh, okay. Back to 4 with another agent. Oh, and a verdict. Well, probably not using the verdict. Probably going to go with this agent line. Alright. Let's cast an agent. I will take, I guess the token's better? I don't really know. I think it's better. And then exile the token I just took. Oh no, now I don't get to draw a bunch of cards. Oh well. I'll still take it. Give me that. So we're turning the tides. We got a quick clock coming at Sandy Dog here. A lot of damage coming back the other way. I could still be dead, certainly, but it is a lot of damage coming back the other way. We're at 4, so there's not a lot of burn spells. Alright, the 2 life mattered a lot, as it turns out. This is still scary. I need to kind of win right now. Huh. So, what is my best play here? I can Nahiri plus to look for, like, a Chain to the Rocks I think kills him, right? 5, this is 8, 10, 12, 14. So a Chain to the Rocks kills him. Teferi kills him. That's basically it, right? Just Chain to the Rocks or Teferi. And I cannot... Gosh, if I had just taken the token last turn, I would have lethal here. That was dumb. I don't know why I stole the land. Yeah, that's dumb. Alright, well... All of this being the case, he's going to put me to 2, and I need to avoid a Wild Slash. If he had Wild Slash in hand, I would have already died. I can't really stop a Lightning Strike. I really screwed up. I was either supposed to take lands or tokens. Splitting the difference was horrible. Yeah, splitting the difference was really bad. Well, I need to hope he whiffs. I mean, that is the reality of the situation I am in. So, do I go for the win this turn? Because if I go for the win this turn, I can't use Yorion to, like, blink all of the things. And a Yorion blink here is pretty gross. It puts him down to 2 mana. So, I guess because it puts him down to 2 mana, Skewer the Critics is no longer an out. Nor would Wizard's Lightning be. Also, like, something crazy like Rampaging Ferocidon. Okay. I think I need to just go attack all and then play Yorion. I think the likelihoods of hitting off one look with Nahiri is too small to not go for a play that cuts off more outs by taking lands. So I think that's the way I'm going to go here. There's also a forced chump from Sandy Dog. He does have to chump here. And probably on the Rabble Master. That's the thing that makes the most sense. He can't block a token, and it's either between chumping Agent or Rabble Master, so he's definitely going to chump Rabble Master. Goes to a pretty low life, but yeah. And now another Ramming Up Ruins at least doesn't kill me. Given that I'm going to Urian here. I will take that. I guess I'm putting this into play tapped. And I'm going to Urian. Urian! Do the thing, please! Don't get me beat. Like that. I guess these three as well. No reason not to, although Lukka is done. It actually doesn't do anything, but that's fine. I would like to take a land, and take a land. It would be savage if Sandy Dog was just slow rolling me here. Very savage. Just like has the Wild Slash already anyway. Alright, well. I still lose to Wild Slash and Lightning Strike. And it's pretty likely the other card in his hand is... Alright, these are not what I'm looking for. Alright. So I'm not dead to creatures. Creatures don't kill me. It is pretty likely the last card in his hand is a land, so even though I made the play that shut off like the 3-mana thing, I could still lose to one of them. But he drew Stomp! Come on! Come on, man! Gosh! We fought so hard. Of note, the Nahiri line wouldn't have got me anywhere. I had 2 lands on top of my library, so that would not have worked. Just FYI to those who want to go back and look. Although I will say post-board things get much, much, much better for me. What is bad here? I don't think Narset's particularly good, and Incentivized Shocking, which I don't love. Oh, ECD is pretty bad. It's okay, but mostly bad. Yeah. Shark Typhoon's kind of bad, too. It's okay, but nothing special. Alright, I think this is where I want to go. This looks like the best place to go. I do think my matchup should be good post-board. A pseudo 7 Dream Trawlers is tough for Mono Red. I got a lot of sweepers, spot removal, ways to gain life. This should be a good matchup. I think I got a little bit unlucky, we'll say, last game. I might have shocked in a turn I didn't need to on turn 2. And that, I mean, we were debating at the beginning of the game. Am I supposed to play, the Hallowed Fountain tapped into Raugrin, Chain to the Rocks? And I didn't need the lands because I drew a bunch of tapped lands, and I think going back if I had sequenced the other way, maybe, but also I wouldn't have been able to hit the Carry Zev, and the Carry Zev was much worse for me than the Swift Spear, so tough. You gotta weigh those decisions. I don't know. I do feel like, yeah, I don't know. I think where I really screwed up was the turn where I took a token and the land. And I should have just gone either 2 lands or 2 tokens. Either way was better. But it is what it is. Alright. So, I do think this hand is good. I am not particularly close to casting Supreme... Well, I am close to casting Verdict. I'm a white source away from Verdict. 3 lands away from Trawler. But I've got early interaction. Omen of the Sun is pretty good against a red deck. Gus can take a Prowess threat off like a Soulscar Mage. Would really like to draw a Plains or a Birth of Meletus here, honestly. Okay, Castle Ardenvale works. It's the double white I need. Yeah. So I think the question here is, do I play the Triome? Is getting into play tapped? I think that's better. I think I can take a turn off here and not Gust this turn. I'd rather save the Verdict as a follow-up to... I'd rather save the Gust as a follow-up to my Verdict if I could choose. Yeah, that's fine. If he like Wild Slashes me here, this is all just fine. All A-okay. Ooh, Chain of the Rocks is another good follow-up. So here the plan is to Omen and double Chump during combat. It's kind of my plan. We'll see how Sandy Dog feels about letting me do that. But that is my plan. I kind of want to just save life. He is going to let me block. If I double block, he uses a spell and like tries to blow out the double block, which is not what I want to incentivize. I would rather him play a creature this turn. That is much better for me because it plays into Verdict. I think Sandy Dog won't. Sandy Dog did. Okay, we take those. We take those. And we've just ripped off a bunch of lands in a row, which is just excellent. It's exactly where you want to be. And this can't have gone much better for me. He could follow up with something punishing here, certainly, like a Rabble Man. But I got a Chain to the Rocks. I've got a Gust to clean up. I think I'm in a really good spot here. And okay, Chain Whirler. Chain Whirler is just fine. Chain Whirler is mostly whatever. Ooh. Teferi's pretty good. I'm going to play this. I do think I want to Chain to the Rocks here. Hit the Chain Whirler. And then Teferi... And then Teferi's going to minus my Omen of the Sun just to be able to gain more life and try to hit a land drop. It's kind of my plan. Oh, we got the land. So we got the Dream Trawler next turn. I'm still at 20. And I'm casting a Dream Trawler against a red deck. I think my chances of winning are pretty high. Sandy Dog's got another Chain Whirler. So this is something we have to watch for next game. Omen of the Sun goes down quite a bit in the face of a bunch of Chain Whirlers. But, like we said previously, Dream Trawler against this deck is not good for this deck. So here we are. And that is a Trawler. Hello, Trawler. So, Sandy Dog's likely play here is to attack with Chain Whirler, hope I block, and then make some sort of play. Ooh, Torbrand. I don't love Torbrand. I am just going to take this attack, though. I just get to gain the life back. Like, I go to 13, but next turn I'm gaining 5, and we're just racing now, so fine with all of this. Alright, I will attack. And I want to draw step. I'm going to play this tap because I'm going to be using most of my mana this turn. I want to draw step Gust the Torbrand. It does let him use like a burn spell here, but that's fine. Not the end of the world by any means. Okay, it does seem like he's going to make a play, which is, again, just fine. We get a nice follow-up of Yorion next turn, though. So, I imagine he topped the Torbrand. I didn't actually look. Yeah, he did. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I would definitely top there. I don't think there's a world where you're not doing that. And he knows about the Omen of the Sun, so I imagine the attacks he chose to make were based around the fact that Omen was coming down this turn. I'm also not going to block. I think blocking here is a mistake, knowing Torbrand comes back next turn. I'd rather just have Chumpers for Torbrand and just race the damage with Dream Trawler. I'm just not taking enough damage that it matters. It's a Fry. It does have Fry. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to discard a Fabled Passage. That's fine. And I guess having Ardent Veil in play is slightly better than doing something else. We're going to put Yorion in hand, though. I definitely don't want to blink my Chain to the Rocks. I think that would be a clear mistake. But I will blink these 2 permanents. Gain a little bit more life. Get some more chump blockers in play. Yeah. And if he taps out for Torbrand, he actually can't attack with those Swift Spears into my Dream Trawler, which I think is quite relevant here. And I just have... I mean, I will chump all day with Soldiers against Chain Whirler. That's fine. Okay. I mean, that's fine. There's not really a block I can make that just kills him here, so just not going to try to. I can scry in my upkeep by sacking Omen, though, which I think is interesting. I think it's interesting. And I think I'm going to do it. Okay. Sandy Dog has conceded. So I thought this was a good matchup. His deck seems very creature heavy. After seeing Chain Whirler and Rabblemaster and Torbrand, I think ECD is a little better than I gave it credit for previously. I do still want Shark Typhoon. I think I'm going to cut a Lukka, though. Lukka's okay. It's not bad. It's kind of bad. I think I'd rather just have all 4 ECDs. The question is, do I want, like, Narset just to find my sweepers? I think Narset's just going to be too slow on the draw. I think that's bad. I think 3 Lukka's right. I really just want a hand with sweepers in it. It's kind of where we're at. I will reveal Yorion again. Okay, this hand doesn't have sweepers and is awkward. I do think it's a keep, but man, this hand's bad. This might just cost... Keeping this hand could easily cost me this match. It's tough to mulligan in 70-card decks like I have here, though. Or 80-card decks, excuse me. Okay, Gust was a good draw, though. I'll take a Gust. I will take a Gust. The curve actually works out fine. This is not ideal by any means, but the curve does work out fine. Ooh, Eidolon I don't like. Eidolon I'm not a huge fan of, but again, we're not in a horrible spot. It's not great, but also not horrible. Man, turn 2 Eidolon on the play is going to be tough this match. Yikes. I guess I can bounce it. I don't love doing that, though. Although I do have a wall next turn, which is pretty nice. Rabblemaster here would be really bad. Ugh, another Soul Scare Mage is also pretty bad. Oh, man, this is tough. Lightning Strike me. Fair enough. I am taking a lot of damage here. 7, I go to 10, 8. Ugh. Yeah, you don't love this. Sandy Dog only has 2 cards in hand, though, and we drew a Dream Trawler, which is a good thing to play towards. We need to hit a sweeper, though, and we need to hit one right now. I mean, we're kind of... That's the spot we're in. We need a sweeper, and we need it immediately. Okay, Gideon isn't a sweeper, but Gideon is good. I will take Gideon. Torbrand would also be horrible here if he just does that. Burning Earth? Oh, no. That's also pretty bad. Not gonna lie. He is attacking Teferi, though. Which, you know, fair enough. So I get to gain my life back here. Ooh, a second Gust. That's a really good draw for me. Alright. So what do I want to get? It's got to be blue, right? Just so I can cast both Gusts. I think the turn here of both Gusts is where I want to be. It does make red stuff not a great draw. So what do I think Sandy Dog's turn is? He has an Eidolon in hand. I take 2 to tap these. I think I want to Gust Burning Earth in response to Eidolon. That's the sense I'm getting from this game. Ooh, Carry Zev. Whew. Carry Zev is kind of a problem. I can definitely let it resolve, though. So his hand is 2 cards and one's an Eidolon. I have to imagine the follow-up this turn is Eidolon. Which I will Gust. And it is interesting to see what play he makes if he tops here. I don't know. Bottom. Okay, so that makes sense. So I'm taking 1, which not great, but acceptable, I guess. Supreme Verdict would be amazing. Can we draw a Supreme Verdict? Oh, Lukka, and I can't use it. No. Okay, so I do think that I need to Teferi minus on Carry Zev. Is it better to Gideon? It can't be, right? There's no way it's better to Gideon. I think I need to Teferi minus on Carry Zev. This is not great for me, by any means, but I do think this is the play I need to make. Oh, man, Fires is actively great. That is going to save me a ton of life, so hopefully he goes with the Burning Earth plan. Because I will take 2, and that's unfortunate, but now I can go Fires into Lukka, get a Trawler. Oh, man, if he attacks Teferi again, too, I'm going to snap that off. Yeah, this is all fine. This is all fine by me. So it's whenever an opponent deals 1 damage to that player. So I'm kind of locked into taking 2. So I'm going to 7 here. But I get to put a Dream Trawler in play. Okay, so Fires into make a Dream Trawler. I know one of the cards is Carry Zev. It's definitely possible. It is definitely possible that another card is Fry, but if it's not Fry, I probably live the turn, and then I can get rid of Burning Earth. Like, my next turn just goes so well for me that it really needs to be Fry. It really needs to be Fry. Because now the Burning Earth just doesn't really do anything thanks to Fires. Okay. Yep. 4 mana. I don't love it. Torbrand. I still have good blocks here, though. I still have good blocks. Yup, and now I don't really think I can lose. That was exactly what I needed. Okay. So, what do I want my turn to be? I think I ECD this, ECD that, then make an Ardenvale token and get another Dream Trawler. That seems like a good turn to me. Hit this. Cast with Fires, hit Burning Earth. Make 1/1. Get Dream Trawler. And bash for 5. Yeah, so I'm back to 12. I have a 3/5 lifelink blocker that is essential hexproof. Down to 2 cards. One of them is a Carry Zev. I can't imagine... Yeah, okay. Sandy Dog knows. Fair enough. So we have defeated the Red Menace. put it in its place. Fires is a really dumb card, as it turns out. I don't know that we could have beaten Burning Earth without the fires, but then we did have the fires, and that's the game. Alright, let's get this battle underway. I'm ready to go. I'm feeling good about this deck. It feels nice. It feels nice so far. Feels real nice. Oh no, the rain is strong. Alright, playing against Slaterade. That was one of the people I said I didn't know what they would be playing. But probably mono green, because I said I wouldn't know, and then someone's going to be playing mono green, so probably this one. I'm on the draw. I will keep this hand, though. This is a pretty good hand. Blooming Marsh. So, Sultai, presumably? Could be the Citadel deck. The Jund Collected Company Woe Strider deck. That would also make a lot of sense. That deck's also quite good. But if that is the deck we're playing against, we've got the Anger on our opening hand, which is just excellent. Just always going to take that. Solana Elves. I mean, that doesn't give it away 100%, but I would guess almost certainly opponents playing the Sacrifice deck. I would put the odds that that's the case very, very high. Alright, well now... Yeah, okay, mate. Oh, no, I was supposed to fetch! Crap! We have screwed up. Now I have to take a point of damage for nothing. What have I done? Why? Why do I do this to myself? Ah! Hashtag punt. Hashtag punt. Just gotta pay attention. It's just such a bad play on my part, and I just didn't need to make it, and here I am. Alright, gonna get my mountain so I can cast this Anger of the Gods. Gonna hope I draw another land. Nope, 7-drop. That's basically a land, if we're being honest. You always like to draw a 7-drop. I would love if opponent missed their land drop here and played a 3-drop. This is a very land-light deck. That looks like that could be what's happening. This is a very land-light deck that relies on elves quite a bit. Okay, well, that's good for me. This is very good for me. So I'm going to take some damage here. I go to 16, 15 off the fetch. Shock down to 13, but opponent has 2 lands in play with really nothing happening, and I have a Teferi for any of their follow-up. So I think... I should be a point higher. Let's keep that in mind. That I should definitely be a point higher, but Anger of the Gods looking much better than Supreme Verdict here, that's for sure. Anger of the Gods. Would you like to sacrifice your thing to scry? They indeed would. Alright, so I'm down to 12. But, opponent's stuck on 2 lands. The card that's really terrifying is Citadel. And, their hand definitely has 4 spells in it. We know that for sure. We do know that for sure. Okay, Blister Pot is not a very good follow-up into a Teferi. I'll say that much. Drawing a land here would be nice. Okay, that's kind of a land. I'll take it. That's actually going to be... I'd rather hit my land drop and cast Omen this turn so that I can Lukka next turn. That sounds much better to me than Teferi Bounce. Even though a Teferi Bounce would be a good play. I think it's a totally justifiable play, but this just sets me up for Lukka so much better. Birth was actually probably one of my better draws, honestly. Alright, another Sifter, huh? Okay. Fine. It's fine. So now we're looking for an untapped land. Anyone will do. Okay. These aren't untapped lands, but another Anger of the Gods is probably too good to pass up. Especially because I get to leave my wall in play. Well, we drew the untapped land. Yeah. I do... it's really annoying that it's just a white source, so I can't Omen plus Anger. I think this is interesting. I do think this is interesting. It just has to be better to start stealing lands, though, right? There's just no way that's not true. He just has to be better, right? It's only awkward because if I do get Agent of Treachery next turn, or this turn, right, then I anger next turn, my agent actually goes away, but, like, that's still probably okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I think this is gonna be slightly better, even though it's a close play. It kind of forces opponent to just, like, keep playing into this, which is not good for them. I'm definitely gonna take the red-black source. I want red. The green-black source is the better one to take, but I want red mana for myself. And the black source is the thing that helps them cast Bolas' Citadel, which is the card I'm actively terrified against. Everything else I can kind of answer with an Anger of the Gods, so nothing else is too scary for me. Alright, opponent tapped mana and then conceded from the game. I would too. I mean, I would too in that spot. Was I going to draw a blue source to agent another land? I was. Okay, so we were going to get to play an agent there and really go real hard. That would have been nice. Alright, post-board against this deck. I like Anger, I like Chained, and I like Supreme Verdict, and these are why they're in the deck. Shark Typhoon's okay. Not great, it's okay. ECD's good, I think. ECD's good. I don't really like Nahiri. You're never going to get a... I mean, Nahiri's okay. I can go down to 1, though. It does exile, which is nice. It is a nice way to get rid of, like, a Woe Strider or a Catacomb Sifter or something. Huh. Maybe I cut a Narset. I can see cutting a Narset. I think I'm going to cut a Gideon, too. Gideon's good, but not spectacular. Nah, I'm gonna cut a Nahiri. I think I need to make sure the agent plan is actively very good in this. It might look like you're supposed to Dream Trawler here, but I've played the matchup a few times, and I think you're definitely supposed to be agenting. You just want to attack their mana because their mana's bad. Or, obviously, like if they have a Bolas' Citadel in play, you agent the Bolas' Citadel. That's not close, but that's where you want to be. You want to be attacking their mana. All right, this is a clear mulligan. 6 lands, those spells. Oh my god, this hand is so close. If that was a white-red source, I would actually 100% keep. It's not. It's so annoying. Yeah. It's so close because if I can just, like, I essentially have 2 lands if I find a second. I am on the draw. And so if I draw a land, I basically have 3. And these cards are actively very good. And this keeps me alive. And this is, like, one of my best cards in the matchup. I think I need to be disciplined, though. Okay. This hand is better than both of my previous hands. Question is, what do I want to do with it? I think I'm a year and a half away from using Narset, and I think I'm going to bottom the Verdict. Yeah, tough spot. I don't know if this Fabled Passage is supposed to get Island or Mountain. We're going to have to see based on how the game plays out and what I draw. It says Mold to Anger, good strategy. I'll let them know. They are convinced I have Mold to Anger, though. Well, fair enough. Mold to Castable Anger. Yeah, alright, fair. It does appear that's what I've done. Okay, well, I'm going to play the Fabled Passage and pass. Opponent has kept a very slow start, which makes me think their hand is high on payoffs. They also mold to 6, based on the number of cards. I am really far away from using Narset, which is pretty annoying. Catacomb Sifter, you say. I mean, I'm going to get the Mountain here. I am going to do it. I don't love it, but I also don't want to let them ramp into big stuff here. Not super interested in that. Okay, that was not the best draw. There's actually a chance I was supposed to just play that and pass. Just based on where I'm at. I don't really want to let them pass with Collected Company up, though, which they might still be able to do. Certainly. I think the chances of opponent having collected company is quite high. No, they're going to cast something. Woe Strider, fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm definitely getting a Nahiri in play here. I think I'm definitely supposed to do that. I don't think that's close. Question is, what am I discarding? I think it's Narset, given that I have ECD to bring it back. My mana's pretty bad. Yeah, I think it's Narset. Oh, and Chain of the Rocks is an excellent draw. I'll take Chain of the Rocks all day. It's a good answer to Woe Strider. It lets me leave Citadel in play for... it lets me leave ECD in my hand for Citadel, which is probably a place I want to be. I can also use Nahiri here to eat the Woe Strider. Which, if opponent doesn't do anything, I probably will do. Feels like they might have a Coco, though. That would be my guess. Huh. So what do I want to do here? I think they're Cocoing me. I don't really have a good way to play around that. The best thing I can really do is keep Nahiri alive. Let's start the turn by Chain to the Roxing the Mountain and see what opponent does. Okay. Alright, so opponent's going to cast a Collected Company. That or their hand is land Citadel, and they're just going to Citadel here. See what we draw off the Omen. I could have put Yorion in my hand. That would have been fine. Okay, so I want to bottom this land. I'll be able to Fires plus ECD next turn. Oh, no, I wanted that land. Crap. Alright, well, now I'm just not going to discard. This hand is good, so I'm not going to discard. Nope. Alright. Oh my god, they have a Coco. No! Who could have seen this coming? I'm absolutely stunned they had a Coco. Never would have thought they had a Coco. Can you whiff, please? This deck has a common thing where it, like, boards way too many creatures out for stuff that, like, doesn't really matter, and then their Cocos are really bad. And I don't think Priest is good here, although... Okay, I feel a Bolas' Citadel in my future, I'll say that much. They at least aren't getting Nahiri off the table, and that was why I Chained to the Rocks here, is that there's only a few creatures in their deck that could actually have done 5 damage to Nahiri with an attack. I do think the likelihood here of me getting Bolas' Citadel is very high. No, they just don't have it. Interesting. Very interesting, actually. Oh, I would have thought that they for sure had that. Okay, fair enough. Huh, Lukka. Well, Lukka's going to be good. Oh, man, that's actually a really good draw. Okay, so I think Nahiri has outlived Nahiri's usefulness. I'm going to exile the Blister Pod and see if opponent does the sack thing to save it. Oh, they'll sack it with Woe Strider. What am I doing? That was just not a good play on my part. Yikes. Okay, they actually did the Priest thing. So they probably have a Coco, I guess. That makes sense to me that they would have a Coco here. I'm going to go to my second main phase, because if they want a Coco, they have to Coco now. I think I would not... Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I think I would not Coco were I the opponent here. And now I will go Fires into ECD. They can kill Nahiri next turn if they attack with their Priest, but I don't think they'll really do that. That would be my guess. Now they can't protect their Woe Strider with Priest, so I think I made a really bad play and opponent countered with a worse play. That's my guess as to what happened in main phase 1 there. We'll take them, certainly, but yeah. Yep. That wasn't good from either side. So they're getting Nahiri off the table, I presume. Okay, they are. They can still cast a Citadel here. That's something they can do. A gilded goose, huh? Alright. You got it. Goosed up. And a sifter. Alright. Fair enough. Ooh, second Lukka's not very good. So, I can Yori on here. I don't believe it's very strong. I think I am just going to cast Lukka. Make a 1/1. And Lukka the opponent. I'm going to take the Catacomb Sifter. Yes, give me your sifter, please. Just say, let me make it. Let me take the sifter. Sifter. Okay. And I do get to get back Nahiri, which is somewhat interesting. I might still get back Narset. I think it's not crazy to get back Narset, so I can just start looking for sweepers. Although I do have, I can, like, yeah, I probably get back Narset with ECD. I guess, can they Citadel? They could still Citadel here. They have to sack a lot to get to that point, though. Like, they need to tap this to make 6, and then probably sack both Scions, or, like, both Scions will end up being sacked, because they'll need to either tap Priest or sack these. They probably would tap Priest, because it's essentially the same thing, but they draw a card, and I sack something. So if they have Citadel, they can put it in play, but Citadel to turn an ECDs on 2 is not very good. It's okay, but... Oh, wow. You're letting me buy back Agent? I mean... Yeah. I'm gonna do this. My library. Oh, that's on top of my library. Sure. I'll leave that on top. It's a good draw. So now if they have a Citadel here, I mean, I just have it answered, basically. They can't cast any more non-creature spells if they do Citadel. And if they don't Citadel, yeah, I've got Anger. Yeah, this is bad news for the opponent, let's be honest. This ain't great for them. It ain't great. I would like an Agent of Treachery, please. Okay. Oh, it's even a 3/4, so it lives through the anger? That's interesting. Yeah, I need to start stealing black sources, I think. Yes. Are we Cocoing? Okay, they have a Coco. Little do they know there's an anger in their future, so that's pretty bad for them. Oh, it hit a Blister Pod? I'm sorry, opponent. This turn is just going to be too much. I apologize in advance. Yeah, I'm gonna anger the gods here. Wipe all of your things. Yeah. Sorry about that, bud. Yeah, I'm opponent is very salty. Slater Aid is very salty, and they have conceded. Sorry, Slater Aid. You have been routinely defeated. Alright, get to battle against McWindsauce in round 4 here. I like this. I do like this. So, he just beat Belovo, who I know plays Mono Black. I would guess he's playing a Hallowed Fountain deck. And this is not really a hand I want against that. I mean, it's not really a hand I want against anybody. It's 1 land and 2 sweepers, so we're going to ship. He also has Yorion, so yeah. Ugh. 3 lands, but they're all plains. Can I keep this? If we draw a red source, it's good. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to keep. This hand is a disaster. I think it's better than going to 6, but yeah, this isn't good. This is not what I would call a good hand. You kind of never want to draw your planes. You really would like to get them off Birth of Meletus, so yeah. This ain't it. Alright, that casts spells. I'll take that. That is a land that casts spells. We got a Jeskai mirror happening here? I kind of dig this. Not gonna lie. So I'm gonna put Ardenvale in play. And I think I'm gonna pass the turn. I'd rather get the Omen of the Sea in play. I could put Yorion in my hand, and I don't think that's crazy. But yeah. Is McWinstall's playing Yorion too? Is this the Lukka mirror? Oh no. I mold in the Lukka mirror? Casting fires first in the mirror is an absolute disaster too. It's not even close. Oh god, it is the Lukka mirror, and I'm the one with the fires and no token or Lukka. Ah. Hashtag just dead, man. This is not good. I am on the play, so maybe, but yeah, this is gonna be bad. This is not gonna be it. All right. Definitely don't want the chained. I do think Omen's okay. I think I'll draw the Omen. Definitely don't want the chained. Okay, so hear me out. This is not good for me. I think I'm losing. But I have Fires first and Nahiri. And Nahiri is good. And I can stop the wall from happening, which is good. Still got the planes, so McWindsauce is going to be able to cast Fires next turn, but I get to have a pretty nice Yorion turn. So that's good. If I draw a Lukka, which I do get 2 looks at. Oh, he just didn't play anything. Interesting. Makes me think there's an Omen coming here. That would be my guess. Or not an Omen. Yeah, Omen of the Sun into a Lukka. That would be my guess. And that's going to be horrible for me. But there's not really that much I can do about it, so here we are. So this turn definitely involves casting an Omen of the Sea. So I'm going to start there. If I hit a Lukka, I'm going to make a token with Castle Ardenvale and Lukka, obviously. If I do not hit a Lukka, I'm probably Yorioning. But I want to see what I hit before I make any decisions. Ooh, Gideon's not terrible. Gideon's not terrible. It's not really good either, but it's not terrible. So, let's say if opponent is on the token, like token into Lukka here, they're stealing my fires and casting something else, and that's horrible for me. But the best follow-up to that play is to Teferi yourself and get your fires back so he doesn't get to keep my fires. So I think I do want the Teferi. I would much rather have a Lukka here, but I think I want the Teferi. And I guess the next best follow-up is going to be... Yeah. I'm going to put that on top. Do I want Gideon? I'm casting Yorion here and not playing Gideon. I'm going to bottom Gideon. I'm not that interested in it. I will also plus this Ketria Triome. Or plus the Nahiri and ditch the Ketria Triome. Okay, ECD is a good one. It is a good one. I will take that. Alright, let me blink out. This. Is it worth it to blink Nahiri? I guess I might as well. Doesn't really matter, right? But sure. And then I am going to play Omen. Not super jazzed about Shark Typhoon. I do think the land... And I'm going to bottom. I'm going to hit a land at some point. Ooh, another Fires. Well, that one's not great, but it's not the end of the world either. Fires is one of the more important cards in the matchup game 1. After Lukka, of course, but... So we're going to bottom both of these. We are just looking for Agent or Lukka here. It's mostly Lukka. We are looking for Lukka. Alright, we hit a land. That's an island, that's fine. Definitely bottoming these 2 lands. Still looking for a Lukka. Alright. Not very good at finding a Lukka, as it turns out. So I'm guessing Omen of the Sun. No, Shark Typhoon for 2. Okay, essentially the same thing. I assume next turn is Red Source plus Lukka minus, and take my fires in to cast another spell. I assume that's what's happening here. Has the Red Source. Okay, has the Lukka. Color me stunned, dude. Never would have seen this coming. Oh, man, it basically came out of nowhere, for being honest. Okay, so he has to take fires here. Taking anything... Nahiri also makes some sense. But anything that's not... Like, Yorion is a disaster. He cannot take Yorion. Yorion is the absolute worst thing he could take here, and I'm really hoping that is the take. Okay, it had to be fires. And we knew it. Like, into ECD too? Come on. Brutal, man. Ugh. Well. Yeah, that's bad for me. So what's my turn? I'm gonna take out Lukka. I think I have to do that. And I think I'm supposed to play this fires into Teferi minus return that one. I think that's the right play. I do lose my Teferi, but I think overall that's going to be the best play I can make. I don't love it, certainly. But I also don't want to let opponent have fires this turn. I think that's too bad for me. And I'm just going to play this tapped because I can't do anything with the mana. So now I am going to lose Teferi, but I have a better turn next turn lined up if he doesn't have an absurd turn this turn. And fires is the card that gives you the absurd turns, so we might be in an okay spot. It's pretty unfortunate we have not found a Lukka after scrying like 40. I will say that much. Chain to the Rocks. God. You know what? I can appreciate McWinsauce's style. Just straight copying my deck. What a dude. Love McWinsauce. This is a player I have a lot of respect for. If people cannot tell. Excellent control player. Very strong player. Yeah, definitely respect how they play and kind of everything that goes along with it. So what do we have here? Teferi Time Raveler. Well, I imagine my fires is getting bounced, but that's not the end of the world for me. I didn't really have that much to do anyway, if we're being honest, so it would be kind of sweet if oh, it costs more mana. Oh, that's lame. Oh, I can't do anything here. This stinks. Huh. I guess I'm supposed to just ECD their ECD then? This is really bad for me, but I think this is better than them getting back a Lukka here for sure. Them having an agent doesn't necessarily matter that much. It matters more next turn. If they have a fires here, it's pretty bad for me. If they go like fires into buyback Yorion, that's kind of a disaster. But if they don't do much else, I mostly like where I'm at. I have to imagine McWinsauce has something like, oh my god, another ECD. I mean, I bottomed an ECD earlier, so this is kind of on me, but ugh. A birth. So McWinsauce is out. If I can answer this ECD, I'm in a good spot. Like an Agent of Treachery would be insane. Let's go. Let's go. So now I get to go fires into Agent. I guess I should start by cycling. Slightly better than not doing this. Okay. Yeah, so he pluses. Oh. So wait, if I take Teferi, I can plus and then bounce my agent next turn? Yeah, that sounds way better. In for that. In for that. So I kind of need to hope he doesn't have something crazy here. But I have the fires, so I'm in a slightly better spot. He did shock. Oh, he's going to Yorion. Oh, I knew that was coming. No! No! There wasn't that much I could have done about it. But yeah, this is bad. Now he just gets back to Teferi. Ugh. And immediately gets to plus it. That's so bad for me. Gosh. I knew the Yorion was coming. It's very advantageous to have the Yorion later in this matchup, which is really hurting me here. Also, he's had more ECDs than me, which is bad. But I guess he doesn't get to use Teferi this turn necessarily. I mean, this is a disaster for me. There's no two ways about it. I think I lose right now. It's not good. Oh, yeah, he's going to ECD back the Teferi. Or agent the Teferi. Sure. Sure. Well, I'm in a really bad spot. That is the case. An Agent of Treachery, again, would be awesome. A Lukka would also be good. I do think I'm supposed to stop in my upkeep and scry at this point. I need a good turn here. I think the game is over. Yeah. I need a good turn or the game's over, I believe. So, let's try to have a good turn here. We're going to second Omen. God, I hate Mojo. Alright, thank you. Alright, 2 lands. Those weren't going to be what we were looking for. Draw a Lukka. Chain to the Rocks. Well, that's not really it. In fact, that's like kind of the opposite of being it. It's not good. It's very much not good. I have to pay 2 because of ECD? Ugh. Is it worth it to pay 2? I have to take Yorion off the table, I think, or I just lose. It's kind of my read. Teferi also would have been a really good draw for me. This is really annoying. Target this. Alright, fine. I'm going to pay the 2. Yeah, if I don't do this, they get to like bounce their Yorion and then reflicker everything, and it just gets disastrous for me. I'm in a bad spot regardless. But if I don't do that, I'm going to die. So, oh no, he can just bounce Chain to the Rocks, and it's just as horrible for me. Yeah, there's just no winning here. I just don't have a better play. My hand is just actual nothing. We scried 2 to the bottom and drew a terrible card. If I had a chance to bounce this, I think I was in a good spot. Narset, okay. I already couldn't beat anything, so here we go. I imagine this turn involves something disgusting like bounce my Chain to the Rocks, blink your entire board, draw 15 cards. Yeah, I'm just going to concede to this. No reason to make both of us keep playing through that. Alright, so post board, the sweepers are garbage. Let's get those out. I like the vetoes. I like the disputes, and I think like 2 gusts is good. I'll cut the chains too. I think chain is a kind of a liability. Yeah. Yep. I could see the third gust over like a birth maybe, but hitting your lands is important. Making tokens for Lukka is important. I should probably have the third gust over like a Gideon maybe. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to do it over... I'm going to do it over... Nah, it should be over a birth. I'm going to do it over one birth. Birth is kind of medium in this matchup. It's okay. You would like one, but like... It's not great. It's just kind of fine. I think this hand is a keep. I don't think it's particularly good, but I do believe it is a keep. I have lands. I've got an answer to the fires. I've got a quick to fairy if I can hit more lands, which I should be pretty good at doing. I have Lukka, which is one of the most important cards of the matchup. I don't have a token maker yet, but hopefully this Omen of the Sea kind of smooths everything out. This hand is pretty bad to a Mystical Dispute. I would really like to draw Steam Vents, I'll say that much. I mean, a lot of that last game, the problem is just that I mulliganed and was down on resources and used my Yorion a touch early, which isn't great, but it is what happened. So, here I'm like leaving up Omen and Gust. I don't think there's a single spell I could Gust here in this matchup, so pretty unlikely that that's what I'm doing here, but really I just want to Omen and look for token makers or fires or more lands. That's kind of all this hand wants. A Mystical Dispute would be fine. ECD is always going to be good. Fires, yeah, I just want to get the Omen in play. I think is basically what this is coming down to. Okay, so my next play is 100% to get Mystical Disputed. Like, there is just no world where that's not the case. And given that, I think I'm supposed to Omen. Omen actually makes Lukka good. Yeah, I'm going to Omen. I think this is good. I would like to hit a land here, no doubt. Alright, we hit a land. So, I am going to play Ardenvale in case some shenanigans go on where I want to discard this Plains. I don't see that as very likely, but I'm going to do it that way, just, you know, to make sure. Curious if... Okay, Narset. Fair. Narset resolves. Now, I get to go to Fairy. I need a red source, but I get to go to Fairy into Lukka here, so that is good. I need a red source, but hopefully we just draw a red source and everything's A-okay. That's kind of what we're hoping for here. Blue source would also be good. Okay. Not exactly the thing we're looking for, but fine. So I think Narset's slightly better than Teferi because now their Teferi can't draw a card and I'm somewhat outvaluing them. It's not great. Ooh, Gideon's actually not terrible. Also not great, but not terrible. I still don't have a red source. Maybe it's better to just go Birth plus Teferi next turn? I feel like Gideon might be better. I think this is tough. I think I am going to take Gideon. Gideon's like actually high impact. I think there's a world where I could follow up with Gideon next turn. I think realistically what happens is McWinsauce goes fire into Teferi here, bounce a token. And then my next turn needs to be probably, if I draw Aether Gust, I start Lukka-ing. Or not Aether Gust. If I draw Red Source, I start Lukka-ing. When I don't draw Red Source, I probably go Teferi plus Gust the Fires. Although this might be just a Teferi minus on the humans. Oh, Birth of Meletus. Sure. Okay. So maybe McWinsauce just needs to hit lands here. I played the Narset over my own Teferi specifically to make his Teferi worse so that he can't minus and get a card. And it's just like if you want to hit a token, you're just trading your minus for a token. It is awkward in that now McWinsauce can have Abdovin's Veto. It's possible that's what he's doing. Alright, well, let's see. He could also have Gust up. Alright, let's see what we hit here. Our own Dovin's Veto. Fair enough. Yeah, let's play Teferi now. I think it was interesting before. Now it's just like very obvious. Leave up Veto and Gust. Alright, I am going to Veto the Dispute so that my Teferi lives, and I'm going to minus on his Birth. I don't care if he gets another Plains. I don't want him having a wall this turn. It's kind of where I'm at. Because then he could Lukka me, and I think that's just too bad. And now I've put myself in a spot where I can start Lukka-ing him and just burying him with agent triggers. And you just never come back from these spots. It literally is just the first person to get to this thing, and we get to resolve it, whereas he does not necessarily. Like, he could resolve it this turn, but then I would get to Gust it and have some good follow-ups, all of that. I could go Gideon plus Gust next turn if I needed to. But more likely than not, I'm just going to Lukka and start stealing red sources so that it's not clear that he can cast Lukka. He might be able to. Is this his own Teferi? I think he has a Teferi. I'm pretty sure he does. That's fine. Okay, he does have a Teferi, sure. Ooh, ECD is very good. So I'm going to plus. Go to combat. Let's attack Teferi. And I do still think that I am supposed to Lukka here and just get this train rolling. It's actually more interesting if I steal Red Source or Birth of Meletus. I think the answer is I'm supposed to steal Birth, but Red Source is also pretty good. That's interesting. I think I just want to steal lands, honestly. I'm going to take the Ralgren. If he has Red Source plus Lukka this turn, that's good, but I like the spot I'm in, and I should be able to come back from most of the things he does this turn. That is my assumption. Okay, has untapped Red Source. That was start one. So I get punished here for not stealing the Birth. But Agent's not great here. It's good, but it's not great. And there is some question as to what you steal here. I assume it's my Lukka. Maybe? Maybe it's my Narset. My Narset makes some sense. You could also just steal back the land I took to begin with. I don't think that's right, though. I kind of assume he's going to steal my Lukka. Oh, I can't even do an upkeep stop because Teferi just makes us both play at sorcery speed. What a card. What a card. Wonderful. Very sweet. Very, very sweet. Yeah, it's just very unclear what he's supposed to take here. And my turn is going to be great with Aether Gust plus ECD. And that even sets me up to do a Yorion next turn. So I think I'm winning by a decent amount right now. He did steal my Lukka. So now the question is, does he keep my Lukka or his? I imagine he's supposed to keep his. It's just wrong to keep mine, I think. Because of Gust? Okay. Okay, that makes sense to me. So, what does my turn look like? I am probably... Oh, his Teferi's at 4? Interesting. So, I think my turn almost certainly looks something like this. I play ECD. I hit his agent. Then I plus my Teferi. Attack his Teferi. And then Gust his Lukka. I think that's the best I can do. He's kind of starting to fall way behind in terms of both mana and relevant stuff. He can play Lukka again this turn, but then can't trigger it with no token. And next turn he won't be able to cast Lukka unless he has exactly 2 more lands. But I get to Yorion in the meantime, so I think it's very unlikely that any of this works out for him particularly well. That would be my guess. Okay, he's got an ECD, fair enough. What did he do with his... He bottomed Lukka. Okay, that makes sense to me. So he's not even drawing Lukka. Sure. Okay. How good is Typhoon here? I think it's okay. So I can Yorion here, which I think is pretty good. Yeah, I think that's good. Ah, a Shark Typhoon for 1, huh? Okay. Certainly not the end of the world. I assume there's some chumping going on. If not, I will assume there's a Lukka happening. Oh, he doesn't even protect a fairy. Yeah, that ain't it, my friend. That is not the way you wanted to play that turn. I mean, not that he necessarily had better choices, but that just really wasn't it. Yo, click. Okay. I'm going to play this tapped. So this should go on the stack first. Then this. Then this. Stealing. Ketria. Yep. This is just why you never come back from these. I mean, you just don't. It's just not going to happen. Yep. Alright, so we've got a sweet little game 3 coming up here between me and McWinsauce. Going to be an interesting one. Again, it's just a race to who gets their engine going first. These games snowball so hard. I do think I like the 3 births. I could see cutting a Typhoon. Typhoon's pretty medium on the draw, especially. It is a good way to beat their Teferis. I think I'm just going to run it back. I don't really want to draw 2 births. The first birth is fine. Alright. I'm going to have to play fast, too. I'm losing on clock quite a bit, and my internet's being a little laggy, which is not good. I will keep. Alright, gonna play a Raugrin Triome. I think my play also here is pretty scripted. I'm gonna Raugrin Triome again and bluff Dispute. Oh, never mind. Now things have changed. Now the game has changed. I'm going to veto the first play McWinsauce makes here, which is probably a Teferi. No, I'm not going to veto that, that's for sure. That I don't really care that much about. It's fine. I do think McWinsauce has a veto based on playing the Vantress there, though. That would be my guess. I'm going... Oh, perfect. I was just thinking, you know what would be sick here is drawing an Agent of Treachery. Every time with no fail. Well, big fail. You know what I mean. It's horrible. It's never good. Never good at all. We shocking, though. Oh, do you have the veto that you just clearly have? I do think you might. Alright. Fair enough. So now a legitimate question. What am I pitching with Narset? I think the answer is... I'm definitely not getting plains. I think I'm supposed to get Island. I think the answer here is... I pitch a Teferi, which is kind of crazy. But I'm kind of building towards this Agent. If I had an ECD, I would definitely pitch Agent. Given I don't, I think pitching one of the Teferis is better. I think that's close, but I think it is the case. You'll notice there we effectively played around Dispute very well. We had the veto for the turn. He had the Dispute, and then we cast a non-blue spell into the Dispute mana. And he can't even Lukka me here. I do think I'm supposed to discard that one. Alright, not really getting anywhere here. I could... cast something here, but honestly, Teferi's about to... Nahiri's about to ult. And Nahiri ult's really bad. Ugh. Has this Typhoon. I hate it. I hate it. I should have played my Teferi. It's not the end of the world. It stops my Nahiri from ulting, but it ends up just cycling, essentially. And prevents me from an ult, sure, but... I've got a lot of the really powerful follow-ups covered with Gust here. I can even make a 1-1 this turn. It looks like he's missing double red. Okay, Narset's kind of annoying. It's pretty good against Nahiri, not gonna lie. Now he definitely has a Lukka. Alright, that's not great for me. Okay, we have managed to draw basically nothing. Alright, I am going to hit the Shark. I still feel like we've telegraphed a Dispute. But if it is Dispute, I can pay and then bounce the wall, and Lukka doesn't really do anything this turn. And next turn I can steal it. If it's not dispute, I still am not bouncing the wall. I'm not going to bounce the wall and just pass with Gust up so that he can't resolve Lukka. It does stink that if I bounce the wall, I don't get to draw a card with Narset, certainly, but it's better than Agent of Treachery burying me, I think. Okay, now I will plus. Now I will plus. And here is really good. There's a lot of times where exiling an enchantment I think is super relevant. All right, what are you hitting? Fairy Time Raveler. Well, that's not good for me. Fry. Oh, I will Gust. Aether Gust. Okay, so he has topped the Fry. Fair enough. So, he is clearly missing red mana. I think I'm just supposed to steal his red mana. Seems pretty obvious to me, honestly. He's not casting Lukka, and now it's not even clear if he can cast Fry. And I'll plus again. An ECD would be very good for him here, but it's not really even clear what the ECD is supposed to get. Okay, just passing. Well, plussing to Fairy, that's not really a pass, but I need to F6 here. I need to conserve time. Very important. Cycle Shark Typhoon for 1, huh? Okay. Alright, we hit red mana. But that's going to be my red mana. Unless you fry my agent, which, yep, okay. He did fry agent. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, ECD is excellent here. Hello. Hello, ECD. Now I get to hit his Narset. Goodbye, Narset. Bounce Shark Token. Goodbye, Shark Token. I'm going to play my Narset first before I make any more decisions. What are we hitting? Ooh, a Lukka is quite good here, I think. Yeah, I even have a castle. All right, I'll get a Lukka. I'm going to plus and not discard. No. And then just play my land. I think the land's going to be quite good here. And yeah, I mean, so far behind. Even if he can Lukka here, it's like, I just don't know even what you take necessarily. And he has to have drawn back-to-back untapped red sources, which I guess Fires works. If he has Fires, he'll get to do it. Okay. So now he can go Lukka into steal a thing, but it's not clear what you steal. I guess probably a land. That would be my guess. Maybe my Nahiri. Oh, yeah, you probably steal my Nahiri and minus on my ECD, I guess. That does make sense. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Sure. So good turn from McWinsauce there. What does my turn look like? Probably should start by minusing Narset. Gideon, ally of Zendikar. So, I can Gideon plus Lukka here, which I think is better than playing this naturally. No. Give me back my Nahiri. I will take this Fires play or exile the Fires. I'm gonna plus and then just pass. So he will get to do another agent this turn, but I don't think he necessarily knows that I have the other agent in my hand, which is good for me, I think. And I'm set up to be able to attack pretty well next turn. Yeah. I think this is a really grindy game. Very close. I definitely have Planeswalker advantage and mana advantage, but he's got more cards in hand, and my Lukka doesn't do anything anymore, which is pretty annoying. Alright, Fry Agent, sure. Oh, he doesn't even necessarily have a way to make tokens. I, for some reason, thought he had a Castle Ardenvale, but he does not. Oh, and he's attacking my Lukka? Oh, that's perfect. Lukka's the thing that doesn't do anything! You take those. You definitely take those. Okay. Attacks Narset. Okay, that makes a little more sense to me. It is kind of annoying. Huh. Really interesting spot here, honestly. He didn't bounce his own agent? It's interesting. Oh, we drew a Fires? That's kind of insane. Alright. We're going to play Fires. Yo, go Fires. Come on. I'll take that. Thank you. Put Yorion in my hand. Thank you. It's plus Gideon. Let's exile that. It's plus mine. Attack Lukka. I already cast 2 spells? Oh, I cast Fires. Sure. Oh, I screwed up. I wasn't supposed to put Luke in my hand there. I don't think it really matters, but I definitely wasn't supposed to. I do think this game is about to be out of hand, though, for the opponent. Probably shouldn't have scooped game 2. Are you talking about timing me out? I mean, I'm not going to... I would talk to McWinsauce about this. But I don't want to waste my clock time. Alright, we're back for round 5. Won the die roll. Opponent has a 60 card deck, so they don't know the truth of Yorion yet. Yeah, I mean, this is a keepable hand. I got all my colors. I got a search to look for tokens. I've got Lukka. Oh, opponent has Luris. I lied. So, probably burn, I would guess. Probably burn. I do think Hallowed Fountain is the lead here, given that it casts Chain to the Rocks, and I might do that on turn 2. I can just go Sacred Foundry tapped, Chain to the Rocks my Sacred Foundry, or Steam Vent, either way, both fine. I'm going to need to see more information before I draw, but this casts both of these spells, so it's definitely the land I want to play first. Glade Cover Scout? Excuse me? Alright. We need an Anger of the Gods stat. This Chain of the Rocks ain't gonna do it. Okay. This is not good. This is not... I don't think this is what I want to play against. Well, I am gonna shock. We need to look for a sweeper immediately. A Verdict would be pretty good. I don't think there's Totem Armor in this format. But yeah, this is not great. This deck keeping 7 and having a turn 1 Glade Cover Scout is a disaster for me. They only get 4 Glade Cover Scouts. I do have to say, I appreciate it, opponent. Just slamming me out here. I respect it, definitely. But also, oh no. Now they have Karametra's Blessing too? How do I win? This is not good. I need like Teferi. Teferi would be good. I don't know if it's good enough, but it would be good. These are not what I'm looking for. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but it's not those. Anger. That is what I was looking for. Okay. Okay, come on. No. I mean, they definitely have the Karametra's Blessing, but like, could you not? Just, please? Just don't have it? Please? Please! Don't have the Blessing! Ugh. It's like I don't even have, I don't have a choice because if I wait one more turn it just becomes a 4/4 and I can't kill it. So here we are, but come on, man. Of course they just have turn 1 Glades Cover Scout into Blessing on 2, like with enchantment. Like, come on. Ridiculous. I don't know how I beat this either. Yeah, just not beating any of this. It's so big. I guess I'm supposed to get a Yorion here so I can, like, kind of block? I guess? I'm probably dead. If we're just being honest with ourselves. Yeah, give me Yorion. Put this Ralgren Triumph in play and pass the turn. Ugh. Well, maybe they don't have anything and this Yorion's going to be able to block this. Maybe they're just flooding and they'll put Lurrus in their hand. That'd be sweet. Okay. That looks like... I mean, that's probably not what's happening, but there's at least a chance that it is. And if that's the case, we'll take it. We'll take it. No, I don't want to Chain to the Rocks. Get out of here, Chain to the Rocks. No one asked for you. I'm definitely getting an island. So, it feels to me like one of the cards in their hand is Karametra's Blessing. That would be my guess. Based on the fact that we've already seen one, and it looks like they're playing on multiple. Alright. I'll exile my Omen of the Sea and hopefully look for something. Come on, Supreme Verdict. We only have one main, I think. It's not great. It's really not great. I can, like, make chump blockers, which might be what happens here. Is Birth of Meletus good? I don't think it is. I think I'm just supposed to bottom. Meletus is fine, but it's going to be a touch slow. I think I'm bottoming Ardenvale. I mean, it kind of keeps me alive if they don't have a flyer. It's not good, but it is where we're at, I think. Alright, so they have a Lurrus in hand. I gotta hope that they don't have anything else. I gotta hope their hand somehow is Lurrus plus, like, a Jack of Clubs and Ace... No, oh, wow, that was... Whew! That was not it for me. So that's +4/+4. I have to chump block with Yorion. Go to 1. I do believe I'm just dead here. This ain't great. Not great. I imagine they have any other enchantment here. That would be my guess. It would be my guess. But if they don't have any other enchantment or Karametra's Blessing, and their hand is like Luris plus a Jack of Diamonds and like 10 of Hearts, maybe? I could win. I could. I'm probably not winning, but, you know, maybe. If the top of the deck is Verdict, we got kind of a shot. It's not like a real shot, but like, yeah, it's kind of a shot. Yashimoro, come on. What are you doing to me? Ugh, all right, fine. I even found the anger, and they came back with the just, nope. All right. So, I do feel like that was one of the best possible draws the opponent could have, and we never hit our best card in Teferi. We're going to bring in more sweepers. I do think, is Gust good? I don't think Gust is good, actually. I do like Trawler in the sweepers. Chain of the Rock seems really bad. How do I feel about Agent? I don't think Agent's very good either, honestly. Although, Elspeth Conquers Death is actually probably the worst card in my deck, so I should probably cut that. It hits exactly Luris, and that's the only card it can hit. Maybe I am Aether Gusting. On the play, if they don't have the 1-drop, I could Gust the 2-drop. I'm probably just supposed to bring in vetoes. They could maybe do something. I don't know. Probably not. Now I'm really regretting that this the fourth Chain of the Rocks that I have in the board isn't just a third Verdict, but here we are. It is what it is, as they say. Yeah, this deck feels like a nightmare matchup for how I built this deck. I do think I have tools that are good in like Teferi, these Verdicts. Nahiri's really good. Agent can kind of do stuff, and the tokens do block, but yeah, for the most part, this feels like a pretty bad matchup. I also don't really understand why, like, I don't know. Why do we have Gladecover Scout and Karametra's Blessing? I guess just because you don't have Totem Armor? That's such a beating, though. Come on! The heck, opponent. I think I could have won that game if that... I mean, I think I do win that game if the anger resolves. It's pretty clear they never had another thing to play, and I had the Chain of the Rocks in my hand the whole game for the Luris. So it came down to having the Blessing. Little did I know they had 2, so... This deck definitely has SRAM in it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want Chain of the Rocks back. They have SRAM, I believe. I believe in the SRAM. I actually should probably just have all the Chain of the Rocks, realistically. Over, like, Agent is so bad in this matchup. I kind of just want a Dream Trawler. Alright, well, our Lukas are, again, going to be pretty random, but I think I need to do it that way because I don't think I have enough cards for the matchup. Well, this hand is a keep. This hand is a keep. I have 2 Angers. Opponent needs a heck of a draw again to get out of the back-to-back Angers. All that said, they kept 7. All right, they don't have the Chowan Gladecover Scout, so now I just need a red source, and I think we should run away. Just need a red source. Not a red source, but it plays because I can Teferi minus on something next turn if I need to. Or just Teferi plus and turn Karametra's Blessing off. That's also a totally reasonable place to go. But yeah, I think they're going to play the 2-mana guy. The Sylvana Ledgewalker, I think it's called, maybe. Oh, Season of Growth. Okay. That's fine. Alright, so what are we looking for here? Definitely a red source. Definitely a red source. And then we need to start progressing our game plan. Because we'll be able to stop this deck or this card for a little bit, but not that long. Okay, so Agent of Treachery is the quickest bottom I've ever seen in my entire life. There's actually a chance I was supposed to bottom the Ketria and just look for untapped red. Okay, we hit untapped red. So given that, I am going to shock and play Teferi. Okay, I have to tap in a way that actually casts the card. There we go. We did it. We tapped in a way that casts the card. Good on us. Let's return Season of Growth to their hand. Yes. Alright. I guess we can actually cast Narset next turn. That's a good way to beat Season of Growth, I guess. They're not going to draw a ton of cards off targeting their guy. Oh no. Not Scram. The Boon. Alright, fair enough. Alright, I'm going to Anger here. I could pass, but I don't even get a blowout because SRAM's a cast trigger, so it's not really doing that much for me. I'm going to play this. Still don't hate my spot. It's a tough spot, but I don't hate it. Another SRAM? Come on! Okay, well, we get to exile another SRAM. That's good for me. They are going to get to draw 2 cards off of it, but how many creatures can they realistically be playing here? Oh no. Oh no, I don't get to save it. No! It's too big. Fires. Alright. So, what does this turn look like for me? Kind of just a disaster. Anger's not the thing that I am looking for. I do think my turn is supposed to include Narset, given that nothing else really does anything, if we're being honest with ourselves. And Narset at least kind of limits the damage from SRAM. It's not great, but it does kind of limit the damage. Okay, this is an easy Nahiri, I think. And let's play Hallowed Fountain tapped. So, if SRAM attacks, I can exile it with Nahiri. If it doesn't attack, it can't kill Narset and it's not drawing cards. If they flood the board, maybe they kill Teferi here. Maybe that's the play. Okay, so they probably have like a Karametra's Blessing here. That would be my guess. But at least they're not drawing cards. A Hushbringer? What does that do? Alright, now we need to ask ourselves, do they have Karametra's Blessing? And the answer is going to be they do in fact, but maybe not. Okay. Fires is good. It's not the best, but it's good. So I'm going to play my Fires. I think the likelihood that I get blown out by a Karametra's Blessing is way too high. And the way that I can win this game is killing the Season of Growth, maybe? That seems a little loose. Maybe I should just make them use the Karametra's Blessing. Huh. Yeah, it's not ideal. I'm going to play the Triome. I think I need to just kill the Season of Growth before they go crazy and protect their things. This isn't going to go good for me, if we're being honest, but I mean, there is a world where I can try to protect, but yeah, this is going to go bad for me kind of no matter what I do. I don't see this going particularly well for me. I do not see that being the case. But we've got our Fires of Invention in play. We could maybe overwhelm a SRAM. If we ever find a verdict, we got a shot. It's a small shot, but it is a shot, which is what's important here. I can also hard cast Shark Typhoon next turn, which I guess is kind of good. Maybe they'll have a hard time beating a hard cast Shark Typhoon and they just waited a really long time. That could be a real plan. Just hard cast the Shark and let them know. Alright, we have lost all of our things. But we do have a hard cast Shark coming next turn, and that's going to get pretty big. Oh my god, they have another Season of Growth? Come on! Okay. Okay. So what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I think I am supposed to cast an Anger of the Gods main phase. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to cast this with Fires of Invention. I can at least take these two things out. You know, cast it. So protecting the Hushbringer, sure. Does make sense. Now I gotta ask if it's better to, like, cycle. How likely am I to die next turn? It's pretty likely. But also, Lukka, like, just doesn't really do anything. Alright, I'm gonna start by cycling. I think that's the best play here. See if I can hit, like, yeah, anything that's not a thing. Alright, very good. Alright, so I kind of need to pray I don't die here. I was going to cast this in hope. I don't think this is a great strategy. Don't think this is a great strategy, but it's what I'm doing. Alright. Are you killing me, opponent? Are we dead? That's not immediately dead. It's actually kind of good for me. I mean, it's not great, but I'm not immediately dead. Verdict! Let's go! We're back! We are back! So I imagine we're saving SRAM. Just has Karametra's blessing without fail. Every darn time. Well, Hushbringer's out at least. Oh, this now just has hexproof until end of turn, too. That's horrible. Alright. So let's cast this with Fires of Invention. I need to blink out Omen and Fires. And then play a Lukka. Kind of need this to hit. Can you hit? Okay, Dream Trawler kind of counts. I think we're maybe doing it. I don't know if we're actually doing it, but it feels like we're kind of doing it. Now if we could find some gas here, that'd be excellent. These are not... Well, is Lukka good? No, I don't really want Lukka. I want spells. Okay, Ketria Triumph is not a spell. But I can cycle it. That is good. Oh no. Oh no. Things are gonna get too big! It's too big! It doesn't have lifelink, at least. That's good for me. And it doesn't have vigilance yet either, so I actually kind of have attacks. If they like attack, I can block and then play a spell and get a shark and then attack with Dream Trawler again. That's good for me. Vigilance kind of makes this not... God, another Hushbringer? Come on! Okay. Wild game here. And an Adanto's Vanguard? Okay. Okay, so we're not attacking. Interesting. Oh, Narset is a fantastic draw. Alright, so not cracking upkeep. Oh, and a Chain to the Rocks? Hello. Hello, Chain to the Rocks. So, we know almost for a fact that opponent has 10 Karametra's Blessings, because so far, every single time we've done anything, they've had a Karametra's Blessing. But at some point, we're going to be able to hit a Teferi. This was not that point. But at some point we will. And I think I just keep casting them. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to do here, so we're going to do it. I guess I target the Hushbringer? Question mark? We're going to hit an agent this time. I can feel it. Agent. Yes! We hit agent. Give me SRAM! Can I hit SRAM? You only have 2 cards? Dude, every time! Come on! It's ridiculous! Just without fail, the opponent just has it. Come on! God! So frustrating. Well, we've got a standoff here. We found ourselves in a standoff. Opponent Narset is actually doing some good work. Oh no. Now they get to play an all-seed with Luris too. But here's the time. Here's the time. Now Sweeper's like actively going to win us the game. Okay, Sweeper. Specifically Anger of the Gods would be very good. Let's get some scries in here. Any good scries? Hardcast Agent of Treachery. So that steals SRAM. I think that's good. I'm going to keep the Treachery. Put that on top. Top. Come on. I would like 1 SRAM, please. Give me SRAM. Let's go! Alright, game 3. Game 3. We fought through all of the Karametra's blessings that have ever existed in the history of mankind so far. Opponent can't always have it. I have played SRAM. The people know I have played the SRAM. They can't always have it. I know this for fact. I do think the Dream Trawler double agent thing works. I can get behind that. I don't know what we're supposed to bottom here or get rid of. I guess I'm gonna have 3 chains. No, we saw SRAM. It's too important. I need more chained. I'm gonna go to 2 trawlers, so I'm slightly more likely to hit agent, I guess. Shark Typhoon was pretty good there, though. Be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I like Narset. Omen is All right, I'm gonna bottom Omen. Omen's It's fine, but I should probably cut a Lukka, actually. No, bring Omen back. I want -1 Lukka. No. No. Oh, no. All right, fine. Fine. All right, how do we feel about this hand? This hand's horrible. I think it's a mulligan. This hand's actively good. It could really use a Sacred Foundry, but other than that, I think it's quite good. I'm going to bottom the Trawler because it's the thing I'm furthest away from doing anything with. I think 1 Sacred Foundry I can win. I do think that's the case. Or just any red sword. Oh. I mean, when the plan just comes together like that, it's just so beautiful. It's just the perfect combination of just beauty and synergy. You know what I mean? It's just like... It just feels right, you know? Sometimes things just feel right. And that's a scenario or something. It just feels right. It just feels like everything's going to come together. We're even going to draw the blue source next turn to turn off Season of Growth, and it's just going to be wonderful. It's going to be one synergistic, wonderful thing, I guess you'd say. A Glade Cover Scout, huh? Well, you got some Scries. But I've got some Angers and some Gods. Ooh, Ethereal Armor. That makes it a 3/3. So if you could not have land plus another thing, that'd be amazing. Sure, why not? Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Blue source. Blue source. Blue source. Blue source. Actual just plains. Okay. All right. I guess I was supposed to bring Gust in here, maybe? I just don't know. I need to not have the Blessing, which so far our record on that has been pretty poor. And by pretty poor, I mean just like atrociously bad. They've just had it at all times, always. But maybe they don't. You can't have it every time, right? They only have 3 cards in hand. Okay, they put Luris in their hand, so... Not great for me, but I at least can kill all of this. So, I mean, that part's good. Verdict. So now I'm assuming the next turn is like Luris plus replay Glade Cover, and then an Anger's pretty good if they don't have like exactly another Ethereal Armor. Alright, replay Glade Cover. Yup. Don't play Ethereal Armor on your Luris. You want to replay Glade Cover. I can't have 2 sweepers. That's just not how anything works. Oh. Well, that's fine. That works for me. All right, can we not have another land plus Karametra's Blessing? It's just one time. Just one time. Don't do that. Oh, the classic. Here's my planes. I got one. Got a planes. Oh, I think I was maybe supposed to play Rogran Triome. I don't know. Did they draw Karametra's Blessing? They didn't. Okay. We're in it. We are in it to be in it. There's no winning it. We're just in it to be in it. Don't SRAM me. Don't SRAM me. Please. Second season of growth. That's not a SRAM. Oh boy. Don't target anything with SRAM. Holy cow. No aura. No aura. That's so many cards. Oh god. It's so many. Alright, now I'm feeling real stupid for having those Dream Trawlers. I guess we have to hope Lukka hits. Come on, Agent, one time. There's a Dream Trawler in the bottom of my library, right? So I know the bottom card of my library is Dream Trawler. I was gonna say, so I'm 75% to hit, but then of course I draw the Agent, because, you know, why not? Oh boy. Alright. Let's roll the dice, as they say in the business. 66% to hit. 66. 66. I mean, it's just... why? Why do I do this to myself? The Agent is, of course... Oh, I guess I shuffled. I shuffled because of Birth. Oh my god. Now opponent's drawing 400 cards. Ugh. Can we ever win now? No. We've already gone through a verdict. 2 seasons of growth. I mean, maybe. Maybe Dream Trawler can get us back in. I don't know. Probably still no. Yeah. This is just an absolute nightmare. Just an actual nightmare. Opponent has 9 cards in hand. They're discarding the hand size. We had the spot, you know? We had the spot where the Agent would have been insane. I even boarded out a Dream Trawler to be, like, slightly more likely. However slight it was. It's just... Gosh, man. Opponent has 10 cards in hand. What are the chances that they don't have the Karametra's Blessing now, huh? I mean, I have to chump block, which sounds horrendous, but it's where I'm at. I don't even gain life because it has First Strike. Oh my god. Just actual disaster. Well, maybe opponent doesn't have the Karametra's Blessing. They only have 9 cards. All 4 of them could be in their bottom 33. They're just aggressively bottoming. It's possible. It is possible. Okay, I mean, here's alright. Like, kind of does something. Alright, we are on the Cast Agent of Treachery and Hope plan, and that's not a very good plan, but it's where we're at. They probably don't have it, right? They probably don't have it. I mean, there's no way they have the Blessing, right? They had it! I am stunned! They only had 7 cards in hand and discarded the hand size. Alright, opponent has me dead here. I'll give it to him. That's a sweet build of SRAM. The double season of growth was just not beatable. I thought we had a good draw. Came up just a little short. Opponent had the Karametra's Blessing at the right times twice in game 2 or whatever. So maybe I need another verdict, but honestly I think that's just the type of game where you just accept it. I got beat by a strategy that's really good against mine that I don't think is tier 1. And honestly, anytime SRAM wins, I'm going to love it. But overall, I think it was a really sweet league. I'm happy we played it. Played against a lot of good players. This deck performed as good as I thought it would. Maybe I need more verdicts because of SRAM coming back, I guess. That could be where we're at. I don't know. But that green and white version was definitely interesting. That might be something I try out going forward. And remember, if you guys like the content we're making here, every subscribe, every like on the video, every comment helps us keep making it. If you want to share it on social media, we really appreciate that as well. And yeah, with that, I'll talk to you guys next time.